Hi guys, welcome back to Coffee Morning Laughter. So we're back with another episode. I know for a fact we love a relationship podcast on this podcast. We love a relationship conversation. So I'm going to go over to Michelle so she can delve in a little bit more of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, today we will be looking at why are millennials, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Why are we divorcing?
Yeah.
Because I think what both myself and Shills have noticed is there's a lot of people who married young.
Yep.
And, everybody was really happy, really excited. Yep, they're doing it right. They're doing it great. Yeah. They're doing this whole family thing. They're off these streets.
Yeah, we didn't have streets then.
We didn't have streets. What did we call it?
We were just in the clubs.
We
were in the clubs.
Oh, in the clubs.
Yeah, we were in the club. You're in the club.
50. Okay, so we were up in the clubs.
Show such a geek. 50. God. Guys, if you had seen that 50. Sometimes Michelle does the most alpha swings. Yeah? No, go on.
So all of these people, that left the clubs, they did the right thing, or quotation marks the right thing, got married, but we're now looking at 10, 15, 12 years later, and they're divorcing.
They're back out in...
And now they're on the streets.
Now they're in the streets.
So they were in the clubs, or out of the clubs.
Yep.
But they're in the streets now.
With baggage.
I hate that word.
I know.
I hate that word.
If you've been a vivid listener on the Coffee Morning Laughter podcast, you would know that I think in season 2, mainly season 2, I really had to press Michelle on the fact that she falls into the line of the baggages.
One of these days, when you just don't hear her anymore, don't be surprised that I've just had enough and I've snapped, because this girl will just be wild. Rihanna, wild. Yeah.
No. Okay, I stand corrected. Yeah, Michelle, you don't have baggage. You have blessings.
Thank you, Christian sister. You remembered yourself.
I did. No, but honestly, I remember. Yeah, and I'm gonna go back in time. Yeah, because me and Michelle both came from the church scene. Yeah, and actually, even though Michelle was married, and I'm still not married, Michelle's married, but she didn't marry early.
No.
Yeah, she didn't marry early, and she married later on, but she had been with her partner for a significant amount of time by the time she married him.
Yeah, I was 27 when I got married.
Oh, wow, you was young. 27, really?
Yeah.
You wasn't 27 when you got married.
Or maybe I wasn't 27.
You wasn't. You didn't get married before my 30th. You didn't get married before my 30th.
No, I wasn't. No, you're right. I wasn't.
My God, when people rewrite their own history, yeah? Thank God for people that have been there keeping receipts, yeah? This is why they call me Receipts Master. Somebody's actually here on a podcast telling people she got married at 27, yeah? When she was about 31 plus.
I wasn't 30.
You was 31,
I was. Yeah. That's exactly why are you watching my marriage like this.
No, I'm not watching your marriage yet. I'm just watching your age.
I was actually 31.
Yeah.
31 or going on 31. Yeah. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, 31.
So what, I was old in the streets? Is that old?
You're not. It doesn't count for you because you was your partner for a long time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really count for you because you guys had been together. Remember, you guys got together when I was before I turned 24.
Yeah.
And then you split up.
Yeah.
And then you got back together.
Yeah.
So it's not like you was out in these streets or in the club.
No.
But you had a moment and I was there.
Damn, close your ears.
Yeah, at the moment I was there when the names that were coming out of Michelle's mouth were Ade, Atukumbo, names that we can't really pronounce on the podcast, but there you go. So now, obviously, I remember, Michelle, my earliest memory. If you've known me, you know me well enough to know that I never believed in getting married early. Mm-hmm. It wasn't something I subscribed to. Now, I've got my own reasons for that, which are quite personal. And maybe as the podcast progresses, I might one day share them. But I'm sure Michelle knows them anyway, yeah? So I wasn't rushing to get married past 25. And they're my own personal reasons. And people that are close to me would know those reasons. So now we get to a place where people are just getting married at 21. I wasn't a fan.
21 to 25.
Yeah, between 21 and 25, I wasn't a fan. And I don't know if I've said this before, yeah. I just think you don't know yourself enough to be saying, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I want to be with for the rest of my life.
Why do you think then that they then make those decisions?
So I think there's 3 factors, yeah. People think, because everybody has that fairy tale thing of, I'll get married, I'll have kids, I'll buy a house, I'll drive, blah, blah, blah. We'll live happily ever after, yeah. People want that ending, or some people want that ending, but it's like there's a lot of crap that happens in between.
Yep.
So sometimes it's driven by religion.
Yep.
Yeah, being in the church.
Sex before marriage.
The sex before marriage drive, especially when you're in the church. And sometimes society, because you might have come from a family where your parents got married early, your grandparents got married early, and they've been together, and that's what you want to emulate for your life moving forward.
But I've even seen the opposite, where I've had words with someone who got married young, and I was just like, oh, what happened? And they were basically, it was a guy, and he was like very clear that I don't want to be like my dad.
Yeah.
My dad had X amount of kids, X amount of baby fathers. Yeah. And actually, I don't want that for myself. I want different.
I mean, it's really nice that the dad was having baby fathers. But
baby mothers. In this podcast where we love equality.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, but that actually makes a lot of sense as well. And I think some people would want to get married because they want to have that stable home environment that they didn't have growing up. But in pursuing that, you just don't know what else you're letting go of. Or I feel like if you haven't discovered yourself or lived a certain life, a certain freedom, I think it's dangerous.
Yeah, but we're saying this potentially with hindsight.
Oh, I'll be honest with you, yeah. I knew already that I didn't want that.
Really?
I knew already, because I always thought like I wanted to live my best life. Yeah. And think about it this way, yeah. It's nice to be in a relationship, but this is a real story, yeah. So there was a guy who used to like me. His mum was a pastor, one of those people in the church that was like whatever. He came back around. We had grown up together, and since we were kids, and people that grew up with me, you'll know who this person is, yeah? So his name is the same name as my dad's. So if you know that, you know that. So anyway, my sister got married when I was 18. And my sister got married about 30, actually. She didn't marry early.
So she's late, yeah.
Yeah. So he came around back into that time zone when we're doing all the party stuff, the wedding stuff, and he was around me. He liked me, basically. I think he was like 2 years my senior. Saying it like it's an old thing, but like I told you guys, I'm trying to practice standard English. Yeah. So he came around again. Then he was trying to talk to me. Then he wanted to get married. So I blatantly knew that at 21 or 20, whatever the age I was, so 18, 19, my sister got married in July. I turned 19 in September. So I blatantly knew I didn't want to get married. And I went to Uganda, I did whatever. I came back, then I met you guys at uni that year. Then anyway, he's around me. So fast forward maybe 3 years later, when I was 21, he got married to a girl who was about 21. Then at his wedding, my mum went. I didn't go because my mum and his mum are friends, and my sister went. So at his wedding, his mum turns around and says to my mum, "Oh, he wanted to marry Sheila." So, and then she says, "But Rose, you didn't put gas." So my mum's like, I had no clue. He used to call her every night, but I had no clue. That's what was. We used to stay on the phone for hours, yeah. However, I knew what he wanted, but I didn't want that because I just thought to myself, he's most probably going to be a pastor's boy or some kind of pastor. His life is set this way. He's in the ministry, and that would have been.
You knew what streets you were in.
Yeah, that would have just been like crazy to me. I hadn't got my first job yet. I hadn't lived on my own yet. I hadn't even driven legally yet. Yeah. I hadn't done these things that would make me. I'm not saying I fully had an understanding of who I was becoming, but I definitely knew what I...
But do you know what it is? I think with you've always really known yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's amazing. Seriously, I really, really love it. And I pray that I raise my children, especially Livs, like the way you've been brought up.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I was like the total opposite. I wanted to be married. I wanted the kids. I didn't...
At 21?
Bruv, I wanted it all.
Wow.
If I'd got married, ideally, if I could have done it the right way, Kelly, I probably would have married him if he'd asked.
Yeah.
110%. If he'd asked.
If that cheater asked.
No, Kelly didn't cheat.
Okay.
Even when I broke up with that, didn't want to take me back after I begged and begged.
Oh, yeah, Bele.
I know, right? Broke my heart.
That just means sorry, guys. Yeah.
No, but I think if he had proposed, 110%.
You would have gone for it.
Yeah, because I say it a lot now in work, and as a manager about people. We don't know what we don't know. Yeah. So for me, in terms of marriage. Back then, to me, it was like the fairy tale. Yeah. You just see, everybody get married, you live happily ever after. Yeah. And obviously now being older and being married, I know about all the crap in between. Yeah. Yeah. You understand?
It's that journey.
And what it takes to sustain a marriage and what a marriage actually is. Yeah. So I'm very, very thankful now that I didn't. And I would highly discourage my Livy from getting married young. Yeah. But at 21, if I'd met the right person, 110%, I would have got married.
You would have got married.
100%.
Yeah.
And God knows where I'd be now.
Yeah, yeah.
God only knows.
Yeah, you say exactly, yeah. Bold, who knows? Yeah. It should be your husband going bold, not you. Yeah, so girls get it right. Yeah. But I think, I remember, like, especially because we're from church.
Yeah.
So we're affiliated with church. Yeah. So I remember, like, people getting married. We were bridesmaids, attendees, left, right, and centre. We were seeing weddings, etc., etc. Yeah. But I guarantee you now, yeah, majority of the people that got married at that time ended. Yeah. The relationships are gone, finished, kaput. Pull it down the toilet, flush it.
Okay,
yeah.
Shills.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's like, and to me, and when you speak to these people, some of them, yeah, they'll be like, I don't think I wanted to get married, or I don't think I knew myself. Yeah, I don't think I had experiences. I don't think I did it. There's so many I don't thinks. This is what they say: coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah, and the last words of it, you know the rest. Yeah, you can fill that in, and it's not. I wouldn't really take that statement for this because you didn't know. Yeah, and I think sometimes it's down to parents to give you the real tea or give you the real truth. I don't think my mum sat there and said to me, marriage is terrible, don't do it. But she kind of like always encouraged me to have experiences.
Travel, make money, live life, enjoy.
Go and do your first job, get your first car and drive yourself around, yeah. Enjoy that first paycheck for yourself and not having to think about kids or anything, yeah.
Did you ever live with friends?
It's not my portion.
Really? No, I don't know. I hear Dan talking about the experiences. So he moved out quite young, went to uni, lived with uni people, but then come back from uni and lived with friends. And I just think, like, I don't know. I think it would sound great.
I think it sounds great for those people.
Shiller.
Because let's be honest, yeah. Dan's a bit like Dan for me comes across to me like a bit of an oasis. Blur, Hulk, you know, like he likes that kind of
Arcade Fire, more like in the Fouls.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, those people can do
Arctic
that.
Monkeys,
They can live like that. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Our kind. I don't think we're made like that. Yeah,
but you can live with our family.
Yeah, because where am I going?
I don't know.
Well, you know this already, yeah. I had a friend who was with me, like as if we were living, for a long time, and that was pretty fun. But it was like because you've got like a sister all the time, yeah. That's just like literally you're together all the time. You're doing things and you're having a good time. And those are the ages of clubbing and going out.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
So yeah, I guess that was. But I can see you guys in the club any time. We used to see each other in the clubs. we used to see each other in the clubs, yeah, and we would do things. But then, I guess for me, okay, my problem was maybe this one my problem. I'm not from a big family.
Okay, so you want your own space.
So I want for my own space, and I'm used to having space. And like when I was maybe younger, before my mum downsized or whatever, our house was quite big, so it only fitted when I moved that from my mum's. I got my own space, because it was like, you know, we had me and Macrina, we had 2 separate living rooms and a dining area. So sometimes if you wanted to be on your own, you can be on your own. Like my room was spacious enough, and every time I was so a little bit bored, I'll go next door to Lucy's. Yeah. But we never had to be in the same rooms if we didn't want to, as much as close as we are.
And if you had that time where you had to live with someone,
it wouldn't, wouldn't have had that choice, and I would have been more like, you know what, let me go back to my mum's and have my own space.
And you don't want that.
And my worst fear is sharing a bathroom with somebody and a kitchen.
Yeah.
Those things are just like, listen,
But you're gonna need to do that when you get married.
At least that way, I would have been around you. I have more tolerance for people that I'm in a relationship with than people that I'm not.
Do you know what's hilarious? And it just reminded me, is like when me and Dan, not because we were serious before we moved in together. But I was really much like, I want to get married. I want to have more kids. Like, you need to hurry the hell up. Yeah. And Dan was very, very clear that, listen, we're not getting married until we live together. And I'm like, we don't live together in our culture. Like, literally, like, we have to get married, Dan. And he was like, listen, I'm being 110% like, listen, I'm not marrying you unless we live together. We need to know that we can live together before we get married. And randomly enough, about 2 weeks ago, we were talking, it was our wedding anniversary earlier on last month. And I was saying about, someone said, oh, did you have any nerves? Did you have any second thoughts about getting married? And I said, no, like literally from when he proposed, like, I knew this was it. And I asked him and I was like, Dan, did you have any second thoughts? And he was like, no, like literally I was really, really cool. And he was like, but, and I was like, oh, go on then. And he was like, but the only time I've ever had second thoughts was when we was about to move in together. And I'm like, what? Like, I promise you, I didn't actually know. But he said, yeah, that actually he saw moving in together as a bigger step than actually then getting married was. And I was like, okay. So, I don't know, it's weird about the things that we put emphasis on, the things that we put importance on, because me, if we lived together and it didn't work, I've got my own money, I'll go back to my own place, it's all right. Like, I'll come back down to South East London, gave Surrey a go, it didn't work, it's fine. But for him, he was more like, oh, like, and maybe because of the kid as well, because of Livs, it was a bit different for him, but it's weird what we put importance on.
Yeah, I think a lot of cultures, well, I can only speak from the culture that I'm from, and I can only possibly, what's the word that you like to say? Assume, yeah. From the other culture. Like, I think the example that I can give, like one of my closest friends, like one of my best friends actually, she has been with her partner for as long as my sister's been married to...
Is that your best friend?
Yeah. So basically, well, you know who it is anyway. Yeah. So basically for me, that already gave me a different outlook on marriage. It already said to me that you can actually be in a relationship together for years on, whether you're married or not. Literally. And you can achieve and go in and have
But they're different culture.
They're different culture, I know. And that's why I hear what Michelle was saying, because in our culture, at that age, what are you saying that you're going to... But I'll be honest with you, even my best friend, they didn't move in straight away together. Yeah, they spent a lot of time together. You know that culture. They can sleep around and
the parents' houses.
Yeah, the parents' houses. They're happy to do that one. Yeah. Our cultures at that age is very different because like, how am I going to bring my prayer group people here and your boyfriend
and your slippers are there, your toothbrush is there,
and your boyfriend is coming down the stairs. Oh, I remember, and Macrina's going to kill me for sharing this, I do remember, like, one of Macrina's, like, before she got married, she was seeing somebody, and he was working, like, a late job, like a night shift job, so, and he was studying as well at the same time. So one Sunday he came to see her, and I was like, I'm so tired, let me just lay down because I'm going to go work in the evening. So so Macrina said, oh, you can just sleep in my bed upstairs, We were literally downstairs and he was sleeping upstairs. My mum, when she came home, how can a man, how can a man be sleeping? Is this of God? And in my head, I was thinking, geez, man, he's only going to work at night, like, chill out. So obviously there's a difference in cultures here, So you can imagine, I don't really see, I don't know, I could be wrong, Michelle, help me on this, Did I see so many, white friends getting married at that age? I didn't.
No,
I saw them going on their first girls' holidays. I saw them doing certain things, I saw them living life. I saw them, Michelle, you know this, we've got all those, what do we have in our career? People, our consultants that look for jobs for us.
Yeah.
I saw all them young white people being consultants, finding us jobs. Recruitment officers. That's the English I'm looking for, They were all doing those things, and going away, going out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying them, but I was doing those things because I wasn't from the school of get married quickly. I remember my mum hasn't got that thing of you need to marry. So that pressure wasn't there for me. So the people that got married, a lot of them, it's gone. Why do you think? What happened?
I don't know. I think the world has changed a lot. And I think one of the things that maybe I've seen is that maybe people settled. People settled. And actually, if we look at our day and age and our pool and the way that we date, and we talked about it so many times on the podcast, literally the world is your oyster with this little thing in your hand. The phone that opens you up to so many different people, different types of people. I think maybe our mind has developed in that we actually know as well, especially I can talk as a Nigerian in an interracial relationship. Actually, it's okay. I can be with a white person. I don't have to be with a black person. It's a choice.
No everyday suffer.
Not. She takes that back, people. Allies, ignore her.
No, I'm talking about our own. Everyday suffering.
No.
And what I noticed as well, there's been a lot of infidelity.
Well, that's what I'm saying about settling. That actually, if you at the time when you're 21 or 18 or 19, you're with someone and you think, actually, this is what this is it. When actually, like Sheila said, that maybe you don't actually know yourself. And then what then happens when you find out, actually, I don't just like brunettes. I don't just like redheads. I like a bit ethnic. You know what happens?
I like a bit of an adiola.
And then an adiola at work is all up and just speaking nicely to you, giving you the eye. But you've got your redhead at home, and you're like, damn, where was this ethnic back in the day? Like, what happened? What do you do then?
I think what people fail to see, I think when you're, okay, so our world has changed. Michelle touched on something, saying that our world has changed so much, that when me and you were 21, how long ago was that,
We don't expose.
It was such a long time ago,
don't expose.
that we didn't have the internet.
We didn't have internet dating.
The internet dating wasn't doing what it's doing now.
Yeah.
The swipe left and swipe right culture is crazy, and the saying goes, the more money you make, the more problems you have, And remember, at 21, when you're getting married, you're both as broke as each other, Somebody's going to maybe excel in their career.
Yeah.
And Michelle said it correctly. You go and meet people. I had a boyfriend when I was about 21. No, maybe a bit. I'd been with him on and off since I was about 17. I used to fancy the pants of this guy, I thought he was God's gift, I thought he was, And even the English wasn't that great. I didn't care, because I wasn't. It wasn't Nigerian, so it was bearable.
Oh, shut up.
But he was Angolan and had that twang, But anyway, to cut a long story short, I cut him off when I was at uni. Because I was like, I don't know where you're taking me,
My eyes are open.
My eyes are
open. He was exposed. This is what I came talking about.
Exposure. So I imagine, and I just knew we're too different, for us to continue going. So now I get into my work environment when I was about 22. Remember when we went to our final placement, So, and I started meeting other people, like men. And I thought to myself, oh my God, would I have been able to stay with that person?
Nope.
At this age? I wouldn't have, because
my
eyes would have wandered. So anyway, fast forward, now that I had done, I've done years in my career, whatever, I've seen a lot of things in the office and I'm not interested. I can't go into work. If I choose to be with somebody now, unless I don't even know what kind of man can come and take me from the person that I've chosen to be with, Because I'm not going to be excited about, a guy from the office coming to take me out to dinner in London or to come and pick me up, come and drop me off. But when I was 21 or 22, or when I didn't have life experience, those things would have moved me. And now I think people grow apart.
But it's talking about growing apart. How come that is then that the older generation, my grandma and grandparents were married just short of 60 years before my granddad passed. How come they didn't grow apart? Well,
I think, again, I'll go back to the where were the millennials? What was it? Millennials,
Millennials.
That's okay. Calm down. Just before we started the podcast, I actually told you how to pronounce it.
Yeah, but
so
now
stop.
you're doing oms.
All right. So anyway, I'm Generation Z.
And you're not Generation Z. Please.
I'm in this generation.
Wish.
I'm in this generation, but my mum's generation is really different from here. And your granddad's generation is very different from our parents' generation.
They didn't grow apart.
You know what? They didn't really have a lot of options.
Ouch. Grandma, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you,
You can't say that.
I can't say it.
What do you mean no options?
It's my opinion.
What do you mean options?
The options were limited.
Why?
Frederick down the road, I've seen you since
Why are you talking about that people lived in a village?
No, I'm not saying they lived in a village, but I'm trying to say to you now, look, on the generation that we're in now, babes, look at what our eyes see. At the end of the day, your eyes are open, your eyes are feeding your soul. And the desires that come out of you are from your soul within. The more you see these models go around, the more you see this kind of guy, this kind of car. If you haven't been grounded, and I feel sorry for the generation that's coming up after us.
Generation Z.
At least we still have a certain level of respect, some morals, some values.
We're not dissing you guys.
What, Generation Z?
I
am.
You're just basically telling them they have no morals, no respect.
I'm talking to my niece and my cousins right now. But it's just kind of like my nan didn't have those options. I remember the men went out and worked. You was at home. You was a woman. You was cooking. You was cleaning. Your place was in the kitchen or at home, or if you're at the church, you're doing a church service, whatever it was.
So do you think they suffered?
To them, they didn't suffer. To us, because we're spoiled, they suffered. Because sometimes, have you ever spoken to, all right, I'm going to say this because we're both African, yeah? Have you ever spoken to an African parent and you're like telling them, oh, my friend really got slapped by her husband slapped her, or her husband cheated. And then they'll say, and what is that now?
And so what are you telling me? So what?
And then, you hear things like, so will you leave with a man that cheats? And you're just like, our generation's like, oh my God, like, why would I stay with someone that cheated? And then one day you speak to one of your aunts that we're telling you, your granddad, he really did a number on your nan. Yeah, and then it's just like, well, why did she stay? Where were they going? Women weren't able to work at that time. People, I don't know why people are doing that thing of suffering, yeah? It's like they really took I know you're married, I know you like marriage a lot, yeah? They really took that, till suffering.
Till death do us part.
Oh, is it the Bible scripture that says, something about suffering? I'll have to get it together, yeah? Something about long suffering, yeah? And it's like, love is long suffering. They really take that part of the scripture on, yeah? And they're like, yeah, love is long suffering, so he's going to cheat, he's going to beat me, he's going to do this, and I'm going to stay. But this generation is very different, yeah? You've got the likes of Beyonce influencing people.
Who run the world?
Girls, yeah. Upgrade you, all these names. And even from the male perspective,
you pay my bills?
I need somebody to do that. Yeah. But even from the male perspective, they have influencers or they have a desire of a woman that the image puts out, that social media puts out. So by the time you get to know yourself, you're like, I don't think I want to be married. The problem is when the kids are involved. Because the woman always stays with the kids most of the time. Yeah? So then the man goes off because they're still young. You got married at 21, you're now 31, you've divorced, or 33, you're still quite young.
Still fertile.
You're still fertile. So the man's still gone off to do whatever. He's dating, he's doing whatever, he's traveling with his boys, he's going to a kind of like boys' holiday, and you're at home with your 3 kids, with your 2 kids, with your 1 child. Yeah. And you don't have that level of freedom. So you as a woman, even dating again,
it's going to be so hard. Yeah.
Because you're worried about what kind of man you're going to introduce your kids to.
Who you're going to bring around.
Who you're going to bring around them. How long are they going to stay for, yeah? So is it a win? Is it a win for anybody? The men are winning.
I wouldn't say the men are winning. I think when it boils down to is your mental health and your happiness. Because I'll be honest, I can't stay anywhere that I'm not happy. And that's the truth. Like I really, I don't know. I know we talk about love at first sight, and I know we talk about soulmates. Yeah. And I'm not sure if I believe
in soulmates.
I'm not sure.
I'm so desperate to ask somebody in this room to pipe in terms of soulmates, yeah, because I'm so desperate, but we won't do that today, yeah.
I'm not sure if I believe in. Maybe, and I can't take away other people's experiences, because people talk about it all the time. About, I met my soulmate, he's my soulmate. I don't know. For me, I love my husband so much. Yeah. My soul is with my kids.
Okay, fair enough.
My soul is tied.
Fair enough.
Because if Dan did me wrong in any way, shape or form, I can forgive to a certain degree, but actually there's a degree that I've got a limit.
You've got a limit.
And whether we're soulmates, lovers, friends, whatever, that's my limit, and that's what I won't take more than my limit will allow.
I think so. Okay, so basically what you're saying is I've got to care about my mental health.
100%.
I think that statement matters at all levels, whether you have kids or not.
Yeah.
But I always try to say to parents, kids grow.
Exactly.
Kids grow, because you don't live with your parents anymore, do you? Yeah.
So you're there staying for the kids.
And that child's gonna say, "Listen, Mum, I've got my own life." Yeah. Especially if they're watching EastEnders. Who are you? I'm gonna go and live with Billy. And then you're there, being punched around by Freddie, and then Freddie's like, "Well, all the kids are gone now. It's just me and you." Kids grow.
What happens?
Yeah, I mean, I could do an African accent, but people think I come down too hard on Africans, so I thought I'd do a British one for you.
Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe.
If I could do a Jamaican one, I would, but that's my
word. Please don't. Yeah, we're saying no.
Well, if I talk about Jamaicans, I mean, like, he walks out of his string vest. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, but it's your mental health that I think about. Yeah. But then I think for me, people will stay in marriages because they don't want to appear as if they didn't make it. It didn't work. Yeah, it's the stigma of like it didn't work out.
Yeah.
My mum always says,
the stigma of divorce.
My mum always says, like, so I should really be here suffering because of what people think.
No way.
I mean, I love my mummy, there's certain things that I talk about and you know already. And I guess maybe my mum has influenced my thoughts around marriage and relationships. And I know for a fact, if I'm not happy, I'm allowed to go.
You have to.
And it's not, because some people will be like, oh, but my mum's, like, okay, let's talk about the Asian culture. Sometimes it's just like, look, listen, go back to your husband.
Yeah.
Go back to your husband.
Deal with it inside.
Deal with it inside. Or even if the abuse is there, go back to your husband. And then if they leave, they're going to be disowned by the family. We could even look at honor killings. There's so many things that could happen, and people stay for various reasons. But I just wanted people to understand that it's your mental health that matters.
We only have one shot at this life, as far as we know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this reincarnation. So we only have one shot, and I said it in my
Come back as a pussycat.
But the issue is, we only have one shot. So forever, or however many years, is a long time. Too long. Even one day is too long to be unhappy.
It's that saying. Life is short. Life can be short, and life can be long. You can have a short life and be unhappy. You can have a long life and be unhappy. You can have a short life and be really happy.
Very, very
and a long
happy.
life and be. And remember, you can always start again.
100%.
I mean, I'm not here advocating divorce. I really am not. But I'm just thinking about what makes people divorce. For me, it's lack of experience, not knowing yourself, and doing it too early. I've always been a believer of don't get married too soon.
Marrying the wrong person.
Marrying the wrong person because you all don't know each other. Settling. Yeah. You're going to grow apart, or you can either grow apart or grow together. I had this conversation with Macrina, and she was like, oh, your argument is flawed, particularly about the particular people that we're talking about before. And I said to her, no, it's not actually, because she said to me, her husband didn't like going out. She likes going out, we like going out, she likes going to restaurants and but her husband doesn't really like going to restaurants. But I said to her, why? She said, because he doesn't know where to go. And
so that's not him.
I said to her, that's not him not growing with you, because what he, to settle the argument in the household, he's just said, Mac, I don't know nice restaurants, I really want to go down to Leytonstone and have Ugandan food, and that's me having a great time, I want to walk through Stratford and see a food court and say, oh, I like this Caribbean chicken, and that's me having a great time. You don't like that, so why don't you find the restaurants and I'll just pay the bill? I'll get dressed up.
It's very different, It's very different.
So I said to her, so you guys came to a compromise, but imagine being with somebody who totally has opposing views from you. Or who wants to live life in such a different way. I don't want to be a vegetarian. I don't want to be a vegan. I want my kids to eat meat, eat pork, eat everything, And he's saying, no, we're going to have a problem. I can understand. That's not even, I can even take that because it's for the good of their well-being. I can take that. But
to a certain degree.
But there are certain things that are so innate in me that eventually we start clashing. My spirituality is really important to me. My Christianity, my walk with God. So I know for a fact I can't go with a person that is not going to allow me to practice that.
Allow your children to.
And my children to practice that. Like, I'm going to be very open on this podcast. If I married a Muslim man, it won't work for me.
Yeah.
So why would I do that?
Interesting you say that. A few months ago.
Sorry, Mohammed, if she was looking at me at work.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Just change your name to Moses. We can do something.
It's funny you talk about preferences, because a few months ago, John Boyega, he made a comment about who, basically, he only likes black women. He will only date black women. And everybody was coming at him, and he said, listen, why? And people were saying, oh, if a white person said they only date white people, would that not be racist, or would that not be? And he's saying, listen, I'm allowed my preference. And actually, I loved it when he broke it down. He said, listen, when people say, oh, I only like blonde hair and blue eyes, or I only like brunettes, who are they talking about?
It's true.
Because they ain't talking about shields and many different wigs.
Listen,
like, I'm telling you,
I can be a brew.
I can be blonde tomorrow if you want me to.
I've got a redhead, innit? This winter, you're going to see me with a redhead.
Okay. But I think you're right. It's about preferences.
Yeah.
And, we're allowed to change our preferences, but we're also allowed to keep them.
Yeah, I mean, the whole podcast was definitely about marrying too young, or, what's happening with
why are people divorcing?
Why are people divorcing? I just think the generation that we're in, those who got married at 21, you didn't know yourselves. You possibly... Because people that ended up staying together... of people that have been able to go and experience life
And come back.
and come back to each other and say, do you know what? I choose you. I'm not choosing you because I want to leave my house early or because I want to go and start going out because my parents won't let me go out or I want to have sex before, I can't have sex before marriage. All those things that come with getting married early. It's just that I just choose to be with you.
Yeah, you are my choice.
You are my choice. And I think people get shocked when somebody outgrows them. Why wouldn't they? Especially if you haven't skilled up. Why wouldn't somebody outgrow you? Facts, you're still growing. At 21, you don't even know if you're going to like something next year.
Baked beans.
Yeah, it's like I've changed so much from when I was 21 in terms of how I saw relationships, how I saw the opposite sex, etc., yeah, my experiences, my wants. And I most probably would have killed my first husband at 21.
100%.
Like, there's the pressure. Yeah. You know that saying, the pressure is getting worse. They would have had it a long time ago. Yeah.
So, no, I thank God. Like I said, I really thank God now looking at, you know, if I had married the person who I wanted to marry at 21, I don't think I'd be where I am. Obviously, I wouldn't have the kids that I have, but my life would be so different and probably for the worse.
I'm telling you now, you're not wrong.
Thanks, Shields.
No, I know you're not wrong. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, like, I'm here for it. Old schoolers are still married because that's all they know.
Yeah.
And their generation allows them to have that.
No, we can't say they're not in love. Or what are we saying? What do you mean that's all they know?
Listen, I'm telling you this, I don't think people are still in love. I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Shields, you can't say that. You can't say that.
It's my opinion.
You can't say that people don't. You can't say
they love each other. Like, oh, I love you. Like, oh,
no.
But it's not that
they're in love.
It's not the passionate love.
Just because they're not because they're old enough not to be able to do passionate loving doesn't mean it's not passionate love. You can't say that.
I'm not saying. Look, I love you because I love you, innit?
You can't speak on someone else's love.
Okay, lovers who are still in love after 50, 60 years, come back and talk to us. And the genuine love of like. Not because you're the mother of my child.
I'm not talking about friendship, love. The way you're talking is like companionship.
Yeah, that's what it becomes, though.
No, why? You can't say that.
Michelle, let's talk about this podcast in about 50 years.
Okay.
Yeah, companion. We'll come back to it. Yeah, I swear, Michelle. Yeah, me. Look.
So you're in your 30s, yeah.
Yeah.
So by God's grace, you've got another 60 years left. You meet someone in the next couple of years.
60, no, you're cutting me out.
I'm saying to you, 90s.
I want to go longer than the Queen.
Okay, go longer than the Queen.
Okay,
Your
cool.
back will be paining you, trust me.
I'll be rich. Somebody will be pushing me around.
Okay, that's fine. So you got another 70 years, yeah?
Yeah, on the throne.
So you get married in the next 5 years, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're telling me after 65 years you would stop loving your husband?
No, but
It's companionship.
It's companionship.
Because where's the love gone, sorry?
It's there.
But...
You're my companion.
No, your life companion, who I love very dearly.
Yeah. Did I not say that I love them?
No, but the way you're saying it, is it like, you're right, love? I love you, mate. Like the way you love me.
That's even pushing it.
Yeah.
On that note, Michelle, when I find my companion, I'll let you know.
Please do. Please do. Please
Guys,
do.
we're not anti-young marriages, but I just think...
Or anti-old people who are married and still loving each other.
Brings the song to mind. George Michael and Mary J. Blige. I'll be loving you until the ocean covers every tune. Yeah, we'll play it out. Yeah, but anyway, what I'm saying is, guys, if you want to get married early, I don't take it from me. Don't do it.
Ouch.
Look,
just take time. I would say move in together.
What, at 21?
I promise you.
Can't even pay bills, man.
How are you going to pay bills?
You can't.
Splitting bills.
Babes, at 21. Okay, let's go back to your big back balance at 21. Michelle.
Well, what do you want to do? The issue is, if they want to love each other and be together and we don't want them to get married...
You can still stay at your parents' house.
I don't want to be at my parents' house.
This is
me saying I'm a 21-year-old. I don't want to be there.
Look,
I want to be with the love of my life. I want to wake up every morning next to his face or her face.
Well, these days, thank God for FaceTime. Yeah, he can FaceTime you. He can FaceTime you in the morning.
You got an answer.
Yeah, because I just think you're taking away yourself. Because you know what? Yeah, it's likely going to happen.
So what about the Christians that want to get married because they want to have sex with their partner?
Them lot. Yeah. Anyway, I know the scripture says. I know the scripture says. Yeah. If you're hot, then marry. Yeah. However, don't even bother it. Like, don't bother
Just
yourself. Just wait, yeah? Or just work on yourself. There's actually nothing working on yourself. Like I say to a lot of my little cousins now, yeah? I always talk to them about relationships. I'm like, are you with somebody, you've got a boyfriend, da, da, da. I'm always like that nosy cousin, yeah? And then they're like, oh no, I'm not really into it. I'm concentrating on my studies. I'm like, that's good, but start to look at this. Like my little cousin Melissa, yeah? I'm forever telling her, like, Mel, are you going out on a date?
Shine your eyes,
yeah,
man.
like, so don't let it be, don't let
So
it
you
drag
know
out.
what you don't want. Make these mistakes now.
Yeah.
So you know what you're doing you don't want. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you want. You're very, very clear, and you're just waiting for that right person to
Yeah,
come.
and it's not even that person has to be so right for me.
Yeah, right for you. You know what you want.
Because it's like, and it's not like you don't have to have loads of money in the world or whatever. Just have the morals that help us work, if that makes sense. I think if young people want to get married, just wait. There's nothing. Trust me, you're not rushing into anything.
You're not missing anything.
You're not missing anything. Like, and
nothing changed the day I got married.
Yeah.
And I'd been with Dan maybe about 6-7 years prior to us getting. Nothing
I think
changed.
some people to a status, you know,
That what?
in the community. That status, like.
I'm
married.
My husband.
My husband is not treating me. You know, Africans love that.
They don't call them by their names. Like, yeah, my husband. But I'm like, I know your husband. His name's
yeah.
Dave, mate.
Oh, you know, can you just tell my husband to come and go? Listen, uncle, come and get your woman. Yeah, yeah. Like it's all the pretentiousness that comes with it. Yeah, or society.
But it's the weight that our culture, because that's African.
Yeah, that's Africans. Yeah, they make it
It's
out
not
like
in
a
the
big
English
deal.
word,
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, guys. Yeah, your guy's most probably cheating, so it's fine.
Oh, ouch, Sheila. On that note,
we're going to end it there, guys. You know, happy Saturday. And if you're looking to get married, please just wait till you're 27 at least. Take time. Have your career. Get yourself a nice little motor. Do things for yourself. Develop who you are.
Travel. Go on holiday with your girls.
We did a lot of holidays, didn't we?
Yeah,
we did a lot of holidays. So when things are happening in your 30s, you're not shocked. You're like, what? Listen, don't be the mumu of the group. On that note, I'll stop because if I keep going, I'm gonna offend people.
I know, right?
Yeah, and it's not my intention in season 4 to offend.
You've done all season 3, season 2, season 1. You've done all offending.
It's not my thing to offend the people. Them, but guys, have a great weekend. That's me. I'm out. Shell.
Yeah, well, we'll see you next week, Saturday.
See you Saturday, and if you're gonna get married, I would like to come to your wedding.